Good evening and welcome to the Livonia Public Schools regular board meeting of December 15th, 2025. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Yes. Mrs. Burton,
Here.
Mrs. Frank,
Here.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Here.
Mr. Johnson,
Here.
Mr. McFarland.
Here.
Mrs. Acosta is here, President Bradford.
Here, and we have a quorum. This evening we have a special group here, and I would like to ask them if they would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if they could kindly stand, and then I'll introduce you right after our pledge. So thank you so much.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, good evening and welcome to our meeting this evening. Let me take care of a little bit of business first and then we'll get started here. If you'd like to follow along with tonight's meeting, anybody here in person, you can go out the doors to the left and find an agenda out there. If you're joining us from home, you can go to our LPS website at www.livoniapublicschools.org, click on the school board tab and go down to board meeting information, and then you will find our meeting agenda there and for the evening. Tonight is a regular board meeting, or what we call a voting meeting. So if you've turned in to watch this meeting, if you tune in to watch this meeting, you may notice that there's not a lot of discussion happening on some of the items. That's because we've seen and discussed these items multiple times prior to this meeting, mainly at our study session or at our committee of the whole meeting. If you wish to hear more regarding these items, we ask that you go back and watch the committee of the whole meeting. There you will find a much richer discussion and many questions, answers to some of your questions. Our meetings are recorded, the committee of the whole, and can be found at our website and or via YouTube. One other item I'd like to discuss this evening is with our community with character traits, respect. Our students learn, model, and follow this trait every day at school. Our board also follows and models this important trait here at the table. We do not always agree with one another, if you can believe that, and we have very differing opinions at times, but we treat each other with respect for our differences and in the way that we convey them to each other. You have our word that this board will treat everyone in this room with respect, and we ask that you do the same for us. We feel that that's the best way to do our business is by modeling good behavior. All right, and with that, we have a really special group tonight. I'm very excited. I couldn't wait to come to the meeting tonight. I mean, usually I love to come to the meetings, don't get me wrong. But tonight I'm especially excited. We have from Churchill, we have the Chamber Orchestra here, and they are going to delight us, and they are under the direction of Matt Van Ham, who's our content leader secondary, and then also Eric, I'm going to say this, Botdorf, and he's our elementary content leader. But without further ado, we're excited to have the Churchill Chamber Orchestra delight us with some holiday and Christmas music. So welcome.
We're going to tune really quick because we're going to get a chance to do that all together. Jingle bell. Oh, there we go. Jingle bells. And up on the housetop, so we'll start with jingle bells.
Well, that was wonderful. If that doesn't put you in the holiday spirit, I don't know what would. And while we're at it, I do want to thank the parents here that came out on this cold evening. So thank you. I love that the parents are here supporting and always supporting their children, so that makes a big difference, so thank you. And of course, we love having the students here this evening. And to kick this all off is I'm going to go on to our first item under communications. 3A is our points of pride, and that's why we have some students here this evening. We're highlighting the LPS music program. So we want to make sure that we highlight them, and I think Mrs. Jenkins is going to start us off. Oh, are we introducing? We didn't introduce the students. Yes, I'm going to. Oh, good. Okay. We just wanted to make sure you were. So students, don't leave. I thought you were leaving. Oh, we have one student that stayed back. I like that. Thank you.
I'm the oldie.
She's the oldie and the goodie. The oldie and the goodie. They're all wonderful. Oh, she's leaving now. Okay.
Check out her varsity jacket.
All right. Well, they haven't left the building, but Mrs.
Right.
Jenkins is going to highlight the LPS music program. Well, I think the kids are, the students are coming back. We love
Yeah,
that. Thank
file
you.
around.
All right, Mrs. Jenkins, thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. Good evening, President Bradford, and happy holidays, members of the board, Superintendent Oquist. Well, wasn't that just awesome? One more
Yes,
round of
yes.
applause. When we considered highlighting our amazing music programs in LPS, this is exactly what we imagined. To have a group of talented students impress us with their beautiful music, and a special thank you to to the following performers. So as they were seated, I had to take attendance because there's some illness, wintertime sickies going around through the school. So we're so grateful to have with us on violin. And just raise your hand when I call your name, okay? Kelsey Boucher, Belle Jordan, Nasaya Spray, Victoria Stuckey. All right. And on viola, Micah Ortis. Micah Ortis. On cello, Carissa Alamany. And also on cello, Kinsey Amato. And way in the back on bass, going it solo because his fellow bassist was also out sick, is Samuel Johnson. And of course, the band and orchestra director, Mr. Van Ham. So our district is so fortunate to have comprehensive music programs that span elementary through grade 12. Leading those programs are Eric Batorf. Raise your hand, Eric. Who is, Mr. Batorf is the elementary content leader for music for elementary. He also teaches music at Randolph Elementary. And Mr. Van Ham is the secondary content leader for music for the district. And he is the director of bands and orchestra at Churchill High School. So thank you both for joining us tonight and being my partner in crime and arranging this performance tonight. I appreciate it. As you'll hear in just a moment, we're going to hear from Mr. Van Ham and Mr. Batorf. Our students in LPS are gaining high quality music education and so much more. They're learning and practicing collaboration each and every day, community outreach, mentoring, and they're making lasting connections with their musical classmates. Some of my personal best memories as a student in LPS were made with my band classmates in middle school at Emerson, where I played the flute. And then I switched over to vocal music at Franklin High School, and my best memories are with my choir besties all 4 years of high school. Additionally, my own LPS grads, Abby and Evan, also benefited from the music offerings in the district, and they continue to practice music to this day as young adults. And Evan plays the violin, and he has been fortunate to play at U of M with a kind of a chamber orchestra group like this, so very neat. At this time, I'd love to invite Mr. Van Ham and Mr. Batorf to the podium, and we're going to run through a slideshow of some highlights of our music programs throughout the district.
You're welcome to stand up there. But yes.
Thank you.
Hey, look at that. All right. On the screen, you can see, again, those are the students who performed with us this evening. They're a small cohort of our chamber orchestra program at Churchill. And again, we had some folks who were out sick, but they're pulling a little double duty here. They just had a concert last week and a few other performances over the past couple weeks. So this kind of gets to be their final performance. Again, my name is Matt Van Ham. I'm at Churchill and also I'm at Frost Middle School in the morning. I do a couple of classes there with Michael Rice, who's my colleague there. As we talked about with Mrs. Jenkins, we have a comprehensive review of music programs a little bit here, some highlights from the past couple of months. And I want you to just put into your brain, if this is what we've done in the past month or month and a half, imagine as you extrapolate that over the course of the year, how many things we truly do across our district in our music performances and programs. So starting with Churchill, of course, I put the slideshow together. So this past weekend, we had the holiday, or actually now 2 Sundays ago, we had the holiday parade on Sunday, December 7th. That included the Churchill Marching Band, the Franklin Marching Band, as well as the Stevenson Marching Band. We stayed as warm as we could, and it was a nice performance from them. Successful holiday concerts from us on December 10th. You'll see that across the board. We had a lot of holiday concerts and winter-type concerts across the district over the past couple weeks, and coming into this week, we recently had Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp Scholarship auditions. So what we do is we bring in a representative, and those scholarships help students pay for that summer camp if they choose to attend. So they perform an audition, and they're able to receive a scholarship based on merit. And each year we have students receive literally thousands of dollars when you total it up. Heather Wickman, who recently retired from Stevenson as the band and orchestra director there for a number of years, she's been coming in and working with our students. So her retirement has been our gain. She gets to come in as a well-renowned clinician and continue to have an impact on LPS while enjoying retirement. The Charger Marching Band, the Churchill Marching Band, we were just selected to perform the national anthem at a Tigers game. So you will see that May 18th. May 18th, Monday, May 18th. I'll make sure more info gets out there, but that's going to be an evening game. We'll perform the national anthem, and then we get to go enjoy the rest of the game. Hopefully the Tigers are as good as they were last spring, maybe even better, we'll hope. We also at Churchill, we have our jazz band tour on Wednesday. So this is something we started doing a couple years ago, where we take our jazz band around to Frost, Johnson, and Webster, and we do 6 or 7 performances throughout that time. Frost gets about 2 in the morning. Johnson throughout their lunches. We perform 4 times. In Webster, we have an end of the day assembly. So we get to do a little tour with those students with a pit stop over at Sun at Coney Island too. Frost Middle School, again, just had their band concert on December 9th last week, orchestra concert on December 8th. The really cool thing, if you can see, they're a little small on the screen here, but that number of students on stage with the band and the orchestra, probably 200-ish total between our band and orchestra programs over at Frost. We're really glad we get to do that together, and the numbers have been really fantastic with those programs. Stevenson High School, also, they have their winter concerts coming up. They just started their winter pep band. It's a little unique to them. They get to do a pep band. It works well in their program. It's really loved in the district. They also had their first hockey game performance, so they're getting out to a lot of the different athletic groups. Maybe as cold as the parade, I'm not sure. They, again, have their winter band and orchestra concert on the December 11th, orchestra tour as well. So similar to our jazz band, they're doing an orchestra tour to really drive interest in the orchestra program on that end of the district, as well as they've had their high school mentors, their high school leaders, going over to Riley Middle School and spending time working with those students. Franklin High School just in November had the Disney Descendants performance, which is one of their fall shows. They put on some really nice shows throughout the year. Orchestra concert as well. A lot of our orchestras, band concerts overlap a little bit, as well as our choir concerts. Their Bel Canto holiday tour was today, I believe. They came by and got to visit you, just like our Churchill students did this evening. Band concert on December 16th 17th, which is tomorrow, if I'm correct. Yeah, so go check that out. Choir concert later on this week on December 18th. Those photos are really nice from their Disney Descendants performance. They had some really nice photography with their program. So if you haven't seen a show there, definitely check it out for sure, as with our other schools. Emerson. Stage and performance basic show. So this is an elective class that students are able to take. I believe it's a semester long, but maybe they can take it throughout the year if they want. But it's an elective, so it's not an outside of school thing. It's a class they get to take at Emerson and get to put on a show. This time it's the Tonys Through Time titled show. So if you like the Tonys. They had a performance on December 12th, choir concert as well on the 18th. Many collaborative performances with Franklin. It's not necessarily listed on each individual slide, but we have a lot of collaborative program things, right? So interschool performances, a lot of times our high school and middle school students perform together. We want to see our students perform together. Mentorship opportunities with upperclassmen leaders, helping to leave their mark on the program as they're looking to graduate and move out of the program. What is their impact beyond their time? We often cross our schools and our triads. Our middle school string students, especially in the 7th grade, they do a performance all together for the MMEA Music Festival. They'll do that in about March, and all sorts of other concerts and events and that kind of thing, as well as concerts, parades, again. So I want to just kind of put into your brain, if that seemed like a lot of stuff, that happens all year. So that was just one little snippet of what we do, but that's going on throughout the entire school year at the secondary level. And I won't steal his thunder, but you'll see at the elementary level with our very own Dr. Eric Baudorf. By the way, stealing his thunder really quick. He also, I'm really fortunate, he's been our assistant marching band director this season, so we've gotten a chance to work together in that. So now you can come on up.
I just wanted to take us to the Tiger game. All right, so each of these pictures by Dr. Eric Baudorf. I also teach music at Randolph Elementary K4 building. Each of these logos represents one music teacher in our district. They're all amazing, excellent with kids. They're excellent colleagues to work with, and what I'm really proud of, they expand the music world beyond just our district. They are dedicated on helping all students. Like we say, every student, every kid is ours. And so they are presenting at conferences and writing some things down, hopefully getting some things published. But the first, across our people, we have beyond our district priorities, we have some elementary music priorities that we worked on together. And those are to foster a love of music and making music creatively alone and with a group. It's not all just about performing, it's about creating. Develop a belief that the students are musical and capable of creative expression, that they will seek out artistic experiences throughout their lives, and that we really focus, one of our priorities is providing a diverse musical experience and opportunities to connect both performance and music notation. Music is not just what's written down. So I asked them to, if they could, and we can't go through all 15, we'd be here all night, to share some things that they're proud of what they're doing. First thing, I don't have a picture for this, but Miss Danke over at Riley, she was proud they're bringing back their 6th grade musical. It's going to be Frozen Kids. Frozen, kids. They're not going to freeze the kids. Yeah, so we got to take care of them. Over at Hoover, Miss West, always has the most creative music lessons. Her room is like a joy to be in. It feels like you're walking to like a special place. Mine is decorated with the instruments, and she has tents and pretend fire. So her students were working on campfire sounds units, and I want to be in the room with that parachute game. That's awesome. So they were creating sounds like what you would hear when you're camping. Brag about myself. Here's my kids. We've been this week we've been working on the Nutcracker ballet. Not making them do the ballet, but we're doing a little cup routine to the opening of the ballet. And my 4th graders have been working hard on their songwriting unit, which culminates in actually putting ukulele chords on words that they wrote that they chose entirely. It's about using figurative language and similes and metaphors, and they made me promise they wouldn't have performed them for you, so I apologize. Over at Niji Iro, Miss Amaya is really proud of her cross-grade teaching. So this is a picture of her grade 5 students providing instrument lessons to her grades 2 students, and both in English and in Japanese. So it looks like they're talking about tambourine and a vibra slap, which is not what she's holding. At Buchanan, Miss Moon, formerly Miss Geverink, is she's really good at that concert performance things. So she was proud that the students are learning about positive character traits through singing. They performed at their PBIS November Assembly a song called Best Self, Best World, and I can read. Best Self, Best Work, Best World. I have a doctorate, I can read. Over at Grant, this was great to see. The Gators over there learned the song You've Got a Friend in Me, both in sign language and with singing, as part of their inclusion assembly. Miss Moore is the teacher over there. And this just in, as of Thursday, we were informed that Megan Grammatico at Roosevelt Elementary is going to be receiving the 2026 Michigan Music Educator of the Year Award. So she was nominated by Music Education, Music Therapy, that was her previous role before she came to us, which is a music therapist, and also paraprofessionals reached out to nominate her. And some things they said was that she generously supports educators in providing high-quality professional development, offering guidance during transitions such as young fives, mentoring teachers new to working with special education populations. She's known as a positive voice of reason, an advocate, and someone who will willingly give time to strengthen her community, and is absolutely well-deserved. She's really one of the best of us. I could go through all 15, but you guys have real work to do. We appreciate your time and allowing us to be here to brag on ourselves just a little bit. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, don't go away, because I'm sure there are some comments or questions from our board members. Would anybody like to say something? Mrs. Jarvis.
Thank you. I would like to thank you firstly for bringing the kids, the young people over tonight. What a wonderful way to kick off the holiday season. There's never a time that is not appropriate for music. Music is always in order. And I'd just like to also thank you for how much you appreciate the music program that we grow in our children over time here. We are truly fortunate in our district, especially when I hear about so many districts who are eliminating music, that we broadened ours. And I think that in that way we're touching so many more children. Music teaches people how to think and how to feel and how to become a full human being. So thank you for everything you do to help make that happen in our district. And Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Anybody else? Well said, Mrs. Jarvis. Mrs. Burton.
Yes, as it's been said, thank you so much. And as you mentioned, our real work. This is our real work. This is the joy part. For us to be able to see the kids and see them, enjoying and being able to share with others what they're learning that's fabulous for us. We absolutely love it. One thing that I was so excited to hear about tonight was that they're not only performing, but they're creating their music, which is different than what I remember when I was going through Livonia Public Schools and in the music program. I don't remember doing a lot of that, but how fabulous. And one thing that's absolutely joyful about this choice of both the curriculum and extracurricular activities is they can take music with them their entire lives. As we were talking about with some of the parents who were here earlier, some of our activities are really confined to doing as a team or in an organized activity, but music is one that they can take with them every day of their lives. So it's really exciting to see how far these kids have come already and what beautiful music that they actually do make. So thank you for sharing with us tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Burton. I also echo the sentiments. Music is so universal and joyful, and I think every student benefits from it. It like Liz says, it broadens their brains. It helps make connections. There's so many things that music is so wonderful for, and we're grateful to have the staff that we have here at LPS, and we're so happy to have our students perform, and especially performing out in the public. So proud to have those students out there. So thank you for all you do, and for the work you do every day for these students. It doesn't go unnoticed, and she's right. It is our joy. It is our joy to see all the students. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being here tonight. And I know Mrs. Oquist wants to say something too.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you both for being here. You represent our music program so beautifully. Your leadership has really touched each of our schools and each of our staff to help create so many of the things we saw highlighted here tonight. Today was a really special day for many of us here at Central Office. It was filled with music. It started with the Bel Canto Choir here this morning at 8:15, literally filling our halls with music. Midday today, many of us had the privilege of attending the holiday Rotary Luncheon, where we actually heard the Clarenceville High School choralators sing beautiful songs there. And then tonight, to really round out our day, it feels like such a blessing to have been part of today, and to realize the talent that has been created amongst our students and the work that they've done thanks to your leadership and those of our teachers across the district. I also want to acknowledge our board. I don't know that at any other time in my tenure as a teacher, as a principal, or here at Central Office that we have had full-time music teachers at every school. So it's because of the commitment that all of you made when we restructured the elementary day that allowed us to have full-time specials area teachers. And I'm sure, Dr. Botorf, you can talk about the impact that has made for several hours. But we know that that ability for students to have those extended specials classes, to have that exposure from kindergarten all the way through 6th grade, every student, and then to be able to make that choice as they move on to the secondary school is so powerful because it transcends languages and cultures. Music is something, as Mrs. Bradford said, is universally understood and enjoyed. And so we are so proud of the music programs in Livonia Public Schools. We are so proud of our students. So thank you for sticking with us. You played so beautifully this evening, and it really just brought so much joy to our hearts to hear from you and from some of your classmates this evening. And to just really think we've had a day filled with music from our students across our community. So that was pretty special, that all came together. So thank you both for being here, for lifting so many of the great things happening across our district. And again, thank you to our board for your commitment to our students.
Thank you. And I think we have another comment from Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Bradford. And I'm speaking from an experienced perspective. My daughter went through Stevenson and studied under Mrs. Wickman. And I know that studies have shown that those students who read music are better readers. And my daughter was an example of that. And you never know where it's going to take you, because she went on to Hope College and got a degree in music education, then went on to Butler University and got her master's, and she was hired as the athletic band director, the marching band, the pep bands, so you never know where it's going to take you. Fortunately or unfortunately, got married and moved to New Jersey. But it was amazing to watch the progression that they go from high school then to the next level. And I know she was just a voracious reader, and I think that stemmed a lot from her ability to read music. And I think it's those students who read music read a lot more. So thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for staying around. You never know where it's going to take you. And good luck to you, whatever you do. And thank you, President Bradford.
You're welcome. And again, thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing lots of more music throughout the rest of this year. And we appreciate you being here tonight. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Turn slides. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 3B. our wonderful district update from our superintendent. If you thought that was exciting, this is always exciting also. So thank you, Mrs. Oquist. We're ready for that wonderful district update.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Thank you. It is our last meeting of the 2025 calendar year. And so we're going to also start, as we always do, with the opportunity for learning and for growing. We have here some of our Rosedale second graders. This is such a cool idea, but they enjoyed a book tasting in class. They had an opportunity to take a sampling of many different books that were provided by their teachers and share those amongst the groups in their classroom. And it was a great way to get many books introduced to our students and in their hands to really whet their appetite to move forward with some of those choices as we went through the next several weeks. Isn't that adorable? Such creative teachers. So recess happening inside a little more than usual these days. It truly has been frigid, but we have some Cooper students here playing some chess, making some creations, and ever popular Jenga. Who doesn't love a good competitive game of Jenga? And then we'll move on to the LCTC construction trades. Here they were wrapping up their masonry unit, and I believe that what they are working on is the shed outside of the LCTC. Is that correct? Yes, okay. And so they're actually working on a project right there on site. Okay. A storage unit. Okay. And then we'll continue here at Coolidge Elementary. We had some of our students using a little bit of holiday cheer. They were learning about measurements and non-standard units of measurement as well as standard units of measurement. And this past Friday was enormously successful. Our all schools activity night. So the middle schools for several years now have come together to create some truly amazing opportunities for our students. And each middle school takes a turn hosting at Halloween, just before the holiday break, and then again in the spring. So it was Emerson's turn, and the theme was A Nightmare Before Break. And they had just a wonderful time. We want to thank all of the students and staff who were involved in preparing for this particular evening, and for staff that come from, and parents that come from all three of our schools in order to help our students have these great experiences. So, and on these evenings, we have anywhere from 800 to 1,000 middle schoolers in one place having a great time. All right, we'll move on. I'm going to share some highlights from each of our K-4 robotics programs. So I'll just read through what each of the robotics at the K-4 have sent us. These are the Buchanan Robo Bears. The unearthed season for first Lego League was so much fun for the Buchanan Robo Bears. They learned to work on a team, do research, code robots, problem solve, and even made some new friends. They worked hard all season to achieve goals together, and they did just that. They did a wonderful job presenting their innovation project to the judges, and they also did a great job on their 4 robot game matches, scoring 235 on their last run, which was not far behind the top score. A big shout out to our parent, volunteer, and mentor for working with the students the whole season. Thank you to our Buchanan community and LPS for all of your support. So that's an update from Buchanan. Next, we'll go on to the Cleveland Robo Eagles. Their 2025 season has just wrapped up, and they worked incredibly hard over the past few months, and all of their hard work paid off. Cleveland got to compete in 4 matches with their robot, and each match they became even more successful than the last. That's the goal, right? Yeah. That continuous incremental improvement. That's what we want to see. The Cleveland Robo Eagles prepared a presentation for the judges. They were able to show their solutions to a common problem that archaeologists have while excavating artifacts. The Cleveland Robo Eagles showed teamwork, innovation, and determination. They had so much fun showing the judges what they accomplished over the past few months. We are so proud of them, and they were excited to represent Cleveland and Livonia. Next, we've got the Hoover Robo Rockets. Do you see a theme here? Congratulations to our Hoover Robo Rocket team for an outstanding season. Lego League is more than just running a robot. Our team worked hard to build, code, and research an innovative project. We were thrilled to celebrate the team's hard work and creativity, culminating in a 30-minute presentation on our, quote, design and prototype of an exosuit and carrying cradle, end quote. Additionally, a strong finish in our robot runs showed our impressive technical abilities and teamwork. Highlights of our season were learning from one another and working together. This success is a testament to the dedication of each team member, and we couldn't be more proud of their achievement. Thanks to you, our Hoover community, for supporting our program. And finally, we will close it out with our Niji Robo Cranes. Congratulations on your achievement. Our team won second place in the core values category. We earned this award through everyone's teamwork. We learned about archaeology, conducted research, and shared new ideas with each other. Our team also worked together to improve the robot's coding and tried many creative solutions as a team. Even when things didn't go well, our team never gave up and kept trying until the very end. We encouraged each other, shared ideas, and kept trying new solutions. I think I might have an idea why they won the core values category. Thanks to everyone's effort and positive attitude, we were able to finish strong and grow as a team. So I would like to take a moment and thank each of our sponsors, our teacher sponsors and staff sponsors for each of these first Lego League groups, as well as our parent mentors and volunteers. All right, moving on, a little bit more robotics. Congratulations to the Frost Robo Falcons for qualifying for the World Championship, which will be held this spring in Houston, Texas. They won that during the weekend competition in Grand Blanc. This is not the first time. In fact, it makes several visits for the Frost Robo Falcons, winning at high levels and continuing to compete with just great character and great effort. I know many of you know about the Marion Bright Parade. Boy, talk about frigid. That was a chilly day. And I really just want to thank each and every one of those groups. You see, from our littlest learners to our oldest, we had band out there, pom, cheer, scout clubs, hockey teams, just so many students, our robotics teams, and it was a very, very frigid day. And just our bands alone are 260 of the participants in the parade. And I know members of Livonia Public Schools provide over 3/4 of the parade members. And so I just want to thank each of our staff members, our parents, and our students who came out to represent at the Marion Bright Parade. We are so proud of you. A Global Ed card, so we had some Global Ed students from Stevenson. They hosted some card making sessions for their fellow students, and those cards will be distributed throughout our community during the holiday season. Speaking of more holiday cheer, so cool that the Franklin baseball team collected toys and donated and delivered them to Hayes Elementary within their triad. And this was just from this morning when the Franklin Bell Canto Choir was here. That was a very, very special treat. And we were the start of their visit that was going to take them across the city throughout the triad and a wonderful stop for lunch. And that is a tradition they have had here for many, many years. Look at all of these kiddos in these concerts. So as you know, and we shared with you, December was filled with musicals and performances, both from dance showcases and bands and choirs. If you just take a look at how many students participate in one or more of these programs, it really is magnificent. It is such an amazing array of opportunities that our students have to be involved with throughout the district. And seeing all of these performances just make us all very, very proud. It was high kick time. That's always a big competition in late fall for our Pommers. And we want to congratulate each of our LPS Pom teams. High kick normally revolves around a theme. that the team chooses, the music, the costumes, everything matches. They work tremendously hard on their choreography and on their performances. So congratulations to each of our POM teams. This was an exciting game. Volleyball district champs. They earned the MHSA district championships just a few short weeks ago. But Franklin, the Lady Patriots, played so well. They were in some amazing games, and that last game when they won the district championship was very, very exciting. Already early bowling success. That is no surprise to all of you, I know, because boy, ever since the board added bowling as an option for our students have just taken the ball and run with it. All right, okay. Rolled with it. Rolled with it. That would have been better. Listen, it's late. So we really want to congratulate the Churchill Charger girls and boys bowling team on a successful Rocket Baker Blast-Off tournament. And next, it was Stevenson's turn this year. They were the varsity wrestling city champs. So definitely a big competition just a couple of weeks ago, and we want to congratulate Stevenson on taking the title this year. And a few kudos. We want to congratulate Coach Fournier. Matt Fournier has been a longtime coach for us here in LPS. As you know, he's an integral part of what happens in all things baseball, but even beyond that at Franklin High School, and a wonderful teacher at Emerson Middle School. He is being inducted into the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. So we want to congratulate him. There are 6 amazing coaches from across the state, but we are partial to our very own Coach Fournier, who not only does an amazing job with our students, but takes care of that field in the entire area as beautifully as he does his own home. So great job, Coach. I'm not sure if I had shared this with our board yet, but we had multiple students pass the remote pilot certification. It is a showcase that showcases technical skill, discipline, focus, and professionalism. These students are now able to operate safely and responsibly with drones in the National Airspace System. So they are actually certificated to be able to fly drones in the national airspace via the FAA. So this is the first time we've had students in this, and this was actually an offshoot from our criminal justice program. So I want to thank Gary Mann as well as Mrs. Gray for bringing this opportunity forward for our students. I know we have lots of amateurs out there, but these guys are professionals. And Churchill has begun their esports. I will say their new esports room looks a bit different than this one. I believe this was their temporary location, but they made their way all the way to the final championship match at the in-person Fortnite finals at MSU. They finished as runner-up to the state championship title. How about that? That's pretty amazing. So we want to congratulate our students for their hard work and perseverance, and boy, do they have a great place to come home to. If you've not yet seen it in Churchill's newly renovated media center, they have the first fully decked out esports room. It is befitting state champion runner-ups, so great job. And we already heard about Mrs. Grammatico. Wasn't that pretty? That was a wonderful thing to hear tonight. And that she's being honored at the music conference in January. So congratulations, Megan. We are so pleased that you are part of LPS and congratulate you on this wonderful honor. Finally, just a couple of mark your calendar, a big one. The LPS Education Foundation is planning a really special night in February. So it is Thursday, February 5th. Dollars for Scholars, a night at the Speakeasy. Tickets are available if you just check out the LPS Education Foundation. Tickets are available, and we'd love have you there in Roaring 20s gear or not, and joining us to raise dollars for our scholars. Wishing everyone a happy holiday and a wonderful break after a great week this coming week.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Mrs. Oquist, for that.
You are welcome.
District update. Oh, we always love and look forward to that, and it did not disappoint tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to move on to item 3C, audience communications. I have some good news. We do not have any audience communications this evening, no blue slips. So I'm excited about that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on with our meeting here. We are going to go to item 4, our consent agenda. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mrs. Jarvis.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the following consent agenda items as recommended by the superintendent. 5A, minutes of closed session of December 8th, 2025. 5B, minutes of special meeting of December 1st, 2025. 5C, minutes of the regular meeting of November 17th, 2025. And 6E, adoption of summer tax resolution.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mr. Johnson for the consent agenda. These are routine items that are usually recommended for placing on consent. Is there any member of the board who wishes to remove any items from the consent agenda this evening? Okay, seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mr. Johnson for the consent agenda. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. We're going to go on down to move to item 6, business matters. We have item 6A, the approval of purchase of LMC furniture for 2026. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mr. Johnson.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approves the purchase and replacement of select furniture in the Idea Factories and Media Centers at Nijiiro Elementary and Webster Elementary Schools. The furniture will be procured from NBS Commercial Interiors, Troy, Michigan, at a cost not to exceed $75,750.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the approval of purchase of LMC furniture for 2026. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mr. Green. Good evening, Mr.
Hello.
Green.
Happy holidays to all.
Thank
What a
you.
great night. You will recall last week at our committee of the whole meeting and previously at our study session, we discussed the need to get ahead of schedule on some of these orders for our media center and idea factories at Nijiiro and Webster. We will not have to store these materials, but why we're ordering these a little bit earlier than the rest of the furniture packages for those schools is so when those open up in the fall, they'll be ready to go. Because we've analyzed the last couple of years, these specific items have been a bit delayed. So we want to get ahead of schedule on that. And that's what your proposal will be tonight to vote on.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from the board? All right, seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the approval of purchase of LMC furniture 2026. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 6B, the approval of recommended roofing projects. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the recommendation of the owner's representative, Plant Moran Real Point, PMR, to award the contract for roofing replacement at Buchanan Elementary, Cooper Upper Elementary, and Hoover Elementary to Lutz Roofing, Shelby, Michigan, and Royal Roofing, Lake Orion, Michigan, for Franklin High School's competition gym in the total amount of $4,105,000, which includes a 6% contingency. In addition, authorize the superintendent or her designee to negotiate and execute final contracts.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mr. McFarland, for the approval of approval of recommended roofing projects. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mr. Green again.
Hello again. I know it's the holiday time and we're listening to wonderful music, but we have to start thinking about roofs, as we've talked about for the summer of 2026 already. And you heard Mr. Weber from Plant Moran and myself last week speak to the public bid that went out for our roofing projects and the awards that were listed on those, that sheet for you in that memo based on the lowest responsible bidder. And we're asking for approval tonight so we can get that phasing and planning ready and communicate those timelines to our buildings. And as a side note, you might have heard me on camera last night. These were great bids and they came in under budget, so thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Any questions or comments? I think Mrs. Jarvis said the choir or the music.
It ties in because they did up on the rooftop, right?
That is
Up on the
correct. That's a
housetop.
good link. Very good.
So that was a good segue. All right, okay, so we have no, oh boy, we're just gonna keep moving. We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mr. McFarland, for the approval of recommended roofing projects. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 6C, the approval of purchase of IT Chromebooks through the bond work. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mrs. Frank.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District authorize the purchase of new Chromebooks from People Driven Technology, Byron Center, Michigan, for a cost of $1,691,300, and deploy services from All Covered, a division of Konica Minolta, New Hudson, Michigan, for a cost of $62,500. The total cost for this project is $1,753,800.
Support?
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Burton, for the approval of purchase of IT Chromebooks. And we're going to hear again, Mr. Green.
All right, this is another part of being proud to work for Livonia Public Schools. We have a great replacement cycle for not only the roofs on our buildings, but also our technology. These replacement cycles are important because they create equity in replacement of devices and also have a pretty nice lens on when things need to be replaced. So as you heard last week, once this is approved, if this is approved, we would love to get those new devices ordered and out to our buildings, and then we have a recycling option for those devices that are either damaged or working, that we also work through our recycling program as well.
Thank you very much. And just as a reminder to the folks listening, we have discussed these items thoroughly at both a study session and a committee of the whole. And I just say that again to let people know if they think we're running through these big purchases, we have gone through them with much discussion. So at the committee of the whole. So if you're interested in more information, please go see that.
Thank you, President Bradford.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Mr. Johnson?
Thank you, President Bradford. I just want to confirm that this is a bond purchase, is it not?
That's correct.
Out of the 2021 bond?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Any other questions or comments? Mrs. Burton?
Yes, along the lines of what Mr. Johnson was bringing up, I'd just like to thank our community again for supporting these kinds of purchases for our kids. They have up-to-date technology. They have fabulous curriculum materials, in addition to fabulous facilities. And a lot of that is because of our community's support of the two recent bonds and our ongoing sinking fund and our Wayne County Enhancement Millage. These are things that our community has agreed to pay for on a very regular basis. And we have been very responsible with those funds, but we are very, very appreciative that our district is as strong as it is because it has such fabulous support from our community.
Thank you, Mrs. Burton. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Burton, for the approval of purchase of IT Chromebooks from the bond. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 6D, the approval of the 2025-2026 first budget amendment. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mr. McFarland.
this will be a fun one to read. Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the attached amended budgets for the 2025 to 2026 school year. General Fund, Funded Projects Fund, Special Education Fund, Debt Retirement Fund, 2023 Bond Fund, 2025 Bond Fund, Sinking Fund, Capital Projects Fund, Food Services Fund, Health and Welfare Fund, Scholarship Fund, and School Activities Fund.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the approval of the 2025-2026 first budget amendment. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mrs. Smith.
Thank you, President Bradford, and thank you, Mr. McFarland. Wonderful job with all the funds. We do have quite a few here in our district. And thank you to the entire board. Last week at our committee meeting, we were able to run through the budget book and spend time looking at each one of the funds that are used here in the district for very specific purposes. I'll highlight for you tonight the general fund, which is our largest fund. We started the school year off with $31.3 million. I'm expecting revenues of $184.9 million, expenditures of $188.4 million, and then an ending fund balance of $27.8 million, or a 14.7% fund balance. And as you know, we're required to adopt a proposed budget in June, and that's before we know our student count, actual staffing levels, in this case this year, the state funding. So at this time, we'd like to amend the budget to reflect the additional information we have now, and that's my recommendation for tonight.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith, and thanks for all the work you do on a daily basis. It's just huge to operate and understand all those funds, you and your team. So we appreciate you giving us the heads up and letting us know and finding all the way what we have and where we're going. So we appreciate all your hard work. Does anybody have any questions or comments regarding this first budget amendment? Mrs. Burton.
Yes, I'm pleased that we do have a 14.7% fund balance. And again, for the benefit of those who may be listening to our meeting, that's it's within a hair of the recommendation of the Michigan school business officials of 15 to 20%, and for reasons that we just went through this fall, where we had no known budget from the state. We should have had that by June 30th, and we didn't have it until October. But to be able to have a fund balance so that we can confidently open school, we can pay our employees, because we also don't get our first annual payment. Even if we have a budget, we don't get our first payment from the state until, I believe, October. Is that correct? Yeah, we still need to pay our employees for August and September when they're coming back to work. But it is very important that we maintain that fund balance. It is our emergency savings account. It keeps us from a lot of problems. It keeps us from having to borrow in order to start up the school year, since we don't have that money from the state until October. But it's every few years something happens where it's a financially significant event, and this year was one of those events where we didn't have a budget until well into the fall. That, in my opinion, was inexcusable. I believe that schools and children were being used as pawns over political games. And I'm pleased that we have a district that has a fund balance so that we could navigate through all that and we could start school confidently. But again, we could, because we've been responsible with these funds. That's at the recommendation of you, Mrs. Smith, of Mrs. Oquist, and our cabinet team, and the approval of our board to make certain that we do have this fund balance. It's not just for nothing. It's so that we can handle big or small crises. And this year it was big. It's huge when you don't know until several months into the school year how much funding you're going to get. But again, thank you for the phenomenal job that you do, and just an FYI to the community that we are handling our funds responsibly so that we can handle whatever curveballs are thrown at us, because every few years there's an unknown curveball that's going to come our way. So thank you again for the phenomenal job that you're doing.
Thank you, Mrs. Burton. We appreciate that. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for the approval of the 2025-2026 first budget amendment. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 6F, the adoption of resolution for refunding of prior bonds. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Burton.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the attached resolution to authorize the issuance and sale of up to $63 million in 2026 refunding bonds to refinance a portion of the district's outstanding Series 2 of the 2013 bond, otherwise known as 2016 bonds.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Burton, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the adoption of resolution for refunding of prior bonds. And Mrs. Smith, we're going to hear from you again. Thank you.
Thank you, President Bradford, and again, thank you to the board. I appreciate all the time that the board spends understanding the finances of the district. So we've spent time discussing this last week and at our study session as well. We have a very neat opportunity, and it's my recommendation that we move forward with a negotiated sale with the help of PFM, our financial advisors, with Troon Law Firm, our bond counsel, and with JP Morgan, our bond underwriter, to move forward with a refunding program that would save money by paying off current debt and issuing new debt at a lower interest rate. And we're projecting that this refunding could save our taxpayers roughly $7 million. So we're very excited to bring that forward, and we would love to get your recommendations or your approval so that we can move forward with that sale.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Smith. Does anybody have any questions or comments on this one? This is very good news, and I think our taxpayers would be proud to know that we are working hard to save money, and we are always being judicious on that. So we appreciate, again, you and your team for and everybody who put this together in order to save our taxpayers up to $7 million. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Burton, supported by Mr. Johnson, for the adoption of resolution for refunding of prior bonds. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 6G, the approval of sale of property. May I have a motion, please?
One moment,
Um,
please, President Bradford.
Yes.
Did we vote on E, item E, or?
No.
Oh, I'm
E-
sorry, that was consent agenda.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, part E, 6E was included in the consent agenda this evening. Okay, so we're gonna move on to item G, the approval of sale of property. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the sale of property on Hicks Road to Friends of the Rouge and authorize the superintendent to execute the offer, as well as any extensions and all other documents necessary and incidental to the sale of the premises on behalf of the school district. Friends of the Rouge has offered to purchase 10.45 plus or minus acres of vacant land located on the west side of North Hicks Road, about a mile north of Ford Road and 1.5 miles northeast of the I-275 interchange in Westland, Michigan. Sidwell number 56-023-99-0013-00 for a total of $350,000.
Support. We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, for the approval of sale of property. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mr. Francis.
Thank you very much. First, Mrs. Jarvis, you clearly drew the short straw on having to read that one out, because those are always the tough ones to read out. They are definitely not smooth, having to read that recommendation, so I appreciate that. This is a piece of land that we've spoken to the board several times about this over many months. This is a piece of property that's over by that Holiday Park Preserve on Hicks Road as described. And we were approached quite some time ago by Friends of the Rouge and they were looking to purchase this through a grant fund via Ducks Unlimited. And the reason they wanted to purchase it was specifically to keep it a preserve. This is an organization, I think that many people, if you're watching from home, listening in, you would recognize Friends of the Rouge as an organization that is well known around the area. One of their main purposes for existing is to preserve lands and wetlands and protect the wildlife for them. So that is just sort of to say that this isn't a sale of property to a developer who plans on building on it. In fact, it is quite the opposite. It is being purchased by the Friends of the Rouge specifically to ensure that there will not be development on this wetland area, and they want to keep it protected for many, many years into the future. So after doing our due diligence and finding out what the value of the property would be, we came to an agreement with Friends of the Rouge at the amount of the $350,000. That money, when the sale is completed, would be going into our capital projects fund that Mrs. Smith keeps. And essentially, this is what we see as a win-win. This is an organization that will be protecting wildlife and a wetland area. The district is able to garner some dollars, and ultimately, it's not a piece of property that the school district or future boards would be looking to put any type of building on. So I do recommend the board approve this. It is, again, like I mentioned, a win-win for both sides and the community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Francis, for that. Yes, I agree. I think this piece of property isn't going to be buildable, and I'm glad that a group is coming in to save it or keep it as is and preserve it. I think that's really great news. Does there anybody have any questions or comments regarding this piece of property? Okay. Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank, for the approval of sale of property. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland.
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. We're going to move on to item 7, instruction matters. This evening, we do not have anything under instructional matters. So we're going to move on to item 8, personnel matters. I'm going to make a point of privilege and move down to item 8B first. And that will be 8B, teachers for tenure. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Acosta.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and acknowledge that tenure status has been granted to the following teachers effective on the respective date. Justin Combs, December 18, 2025. Kelly Johnson, December 9th, 2025.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for teachers for tenure. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mr. Abate.
Hello, everybody. So our teachers for tenure on your agenda, as usual, have successfully completed the district's requirements for probationary teachers, including their years of service, evaluations of their performance, and a documentation of student growth. We've carefully reviewed all of the supporting materials along with the recommendations of our school administration and have verified that they should be granted tenure status with Livonia Public Schools. We wish to offer congratulations for reaching this milestone and look forward to their continued success working here in LPS.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Congratulations to those teachers attaining tenure. All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Acosta, supported by Mrs. Jarvis, for teachers for tenure. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Okay, I'm gonna skip back up to item 8A, teachers for approval. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mr. Johnson,
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the superintendent and offer employment for the 2025-26 school year to the teachers listed on the attached document.
Support.
we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Acosta, for teachers for approval, and again, we're gonna hear from Mr. Abate.
Yes, thank you. We do have there is a typo on this list that I've caught here. Brennan is the name of the first candidate that you see there. Amanda, the other is actually existing employee, so we can get that corrected. But the employees that you do see on the list here, they fill our needs in special education. And they are all very well qualified for their respective roles. We're confident they will perform at a high level and represent LPS in a manner that is consistent with our shared vision and collective commitments. Their positions are also included in the 2025-26 budget. We are pleased to be recommending these talented professionals to join our LPS family, and with your approval, we're excited to have them working with our students.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
Welcome.
Welcome to LPS, thank you. All right, we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, supported by Mrs. Acosta, for the teachers for approval. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. All right, we're moving on to item 8C, retirements. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mrs. Frank.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District adopt the attached resolutions of appreciation for services rendered by Sherry Fisher Sinicola, Linda Houtby, Penny Johnson, and Deborah Lemon.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Acosta, for the retirements. And again, we're going to hear from Mr. Abate.
Yes, thank you. Tonight, we honor and congratulate 4 members of our LPS family who are retiring from their positions with Livonia Public Schools. As they leave the district, they take with them a combined total of 111 years of experience. On behalf of the administration, I would like to thank our retirees for the dedicated years of service they provided to the students of LPS. And we ask the board to please adopt the attached resolutions of appreciation.
Thank you. Wow, 110 years out of 4 employees. That was a long run for all of them, and we wish them all the best in their retirement. Any questions or comments?
I would just say that
Mrs.
3 of these staff members have just at 30 or over 35 years.
That's just amazing.
Of
Service.
tenure with us, and it's absolutely tremendous, and we're so grateful for everything that they gave to our students.
Yeah, thank you. I agree, that's awesome. I hope they have a wonderful retirement. All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Frank, supported by Mrs. Acosta, for retirements. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 8D, superintendent evaluation. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford,
Mr. McFarland.
move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District approve the December 8th, 2025 evaluation of Superintendent Andrea Oquist, confirming that she achieved an effective rating Effective is the highest rating available under the MASB Superintendent Evaluation Rating Scale, revised in 2024, and is the equivalent of the former highly effective rating.
Support.
We have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by, we'll go with Mrs. Frank, or everybody pretty much, but we'll go with Mrs. Frank, for the superintendent evaluation. As it was read, yes, on December 8th, we did conduct our superintendent evaluation. And I don't know what to say, but except that we're very blessed in this district with a number one superintendent. She's number one in the state in our books. She puts her heart and soul into the district and works tirelessly on behalf of the students and the staff that she works with. And I think we can all attest to that sitting here at the table, that we are fortunate to have a superintendent that has been here for 10 years, 11, are we 11?
11 superintendent.
11 years. And if you are aware, in the state of Michigan and across the state, superintendents are hard to come by, and they are hard to stay and fill those shoes every day. And she has done this for 11 years, but not only as a superintendent for 11 years, but she started out in the custodial duties way back as a young girl, and has stayed in the district her entire career. And we can't be more proud of the work that you do every day. And I can't say enough of your dedication and how proud we are of you. And I think more people would like to say things, I'm sure. So I'm going to turn it over to anybody who would like to make a comment. Well, we're going to start with Mr. McFarland.
I guess I'll just share a quick story. So I have a lot of people in my cohort who have kids in district, and several of them reached out to me with various problems or issues or questions that they've had throughout the year. And on a few of those occasions, I talked to Superintendent Oquist, and she said just have them reach out to me. And I was able to make that connection. And not in one case did I not receive a follow-up from the person that reached out, saying basically just, wow. One, they were floored that the actual superintendent was the person that talked to them. And two, how quickly and efficiently she was able to help them resolve whatever issue it may have been, and just the time and attention and care that you get. And when you look at who effectively is the CEO of a pretty big company we've got here, that's not how it usually works. So I just think that I could talk for a very long time, but that one example I just think says a lot about how Ms. Oquist approaches the job and performs the job, and that we are very fortunate as a district, community, and board to have her on our team. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Anybody else? Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, President Bradford. Fortunately, I've been here for the 11 years that she has been the superintendent.
Fortunate for me.
And, you know, she is ubiquitous. I mean, I don't know when you sleep, quite honestly. What's really amazing, and Colleen will back me up on this, she knows everybody in the district. That's rare for a superintendent to be able to do that. And I just remember when you took the interim label, and Colleen and I had a number of conversations that we did not want to push you. We wanted to let you make your decision on your own. And I remember I got the good word from Dr. Liepa at the state conference when he says, I think I have some good news. And I said, what's it about? And he says, well, about the superintendent. I said, do not play with my heartstrings. And he said, I don't want to talk about it now, but we went to dinner. And I was just overjoyed to hear that you had agreed to remove the interim and take the full-time job. I think that perhaps is the best news I've ever heard in the district. And the district is the beneficiary of that. again, this is not just a job to you. This is personal. I don't think there are many superintendents who can say that because they don't have your type of background in a district. They come and they go, they learn new people, but you've known the people all along. And it shows in the way you treat people. It shows in the way you run the district. I think if you talk to anybody in the district, they'll just say, "Oh yeah, Andrea." So we are so blessed, and quite frankly, I wish they had a higher category than highly effective, because you would fit
You
the bill.
mean ineffective?
No, the prior
Oh.
highly effective.
Yeah, they took highly
They
effective away.
took highly effective out, but even if it was highly effective, I wish they had a higher rating, because you would fit the bill. So we appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do for this district.
That's my honor.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Anybody else? No, that's not good enough, no. No. Oh,
I
Mrs.
just-
Acosta.
I just wanted-
Mrs.
I know, I just
Acosta
wanted to
usually
add- I know,
doesn't
I
say a
usually
whole lot,
don't
but
say
she's
it.
going to tonight.
And I know that there's so much to be said, but for me, the biggest example of how you shine is how other superintendents across the state look to you for guidance, and how you easily step up and take that lead. It just makes us so proud to have you as part of our district, so thank you.
Well said. Okay. Oh, Mrs. Jarvis, okay.
You know, we could all go on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, golly,
Could we have a separate meeting for this?
we did.
Continue, Mrs. Jarvis.
We just like to watch her squirm.
Yeah, continue, Mrs. Jarvis.
For those of the public who don't know, Mrs. Oquist has been a part of this district since she was 5 years old. And that affects a person. That's a lifetime commitment to this district. And it shows in everything you do. As my colleagues have said, I don't need to get redundant here, but your commitment is second to none. You are exactly who we need in the right place at the right time. And just thank you. Thank you for bringing that passion. Thank you for bringing that commitment. And don't you dare go anywhere. Thank you.
All righty. Oh, I'm sure Mrs. Frank.
I will be very brief, but I just wanted to say somebody who's been in a position for 11 years can get, because it's very rare, in some opportunities can get stagnant, and you have not gotten stagnant. Each year, it is unbelievable to us, because I think each year you've gotten highly effective, but it seems like you grow and stretch, and I think that is amazing, that you have continued to move the bar to where you are. I mean, you started so high. But I think one thing, even just through this whole legislature, the budget process that Colleen talked about earlier, the way you advocated for our school, the way that you reached out, the way that you learned to do things, and what we were going to do with and then with the 31AA that came out, just the way that you handled that whole process, and then doggedly chased after that for us, because you were an advocate for students, and I think that is unbelievable. And so, although we thought the bar was high, you continue to raise it. So thank you.
And in addition to that, like you said, she grows every year. You actually grow your staff, and it's the way that you carry yourself, and it's how you work with your staff that makes them better people, and that's a gift. That yeah, I'm not going to get teary-eyed, but I am. All right, go ahead, Mrs. Burton.
For those who may not be aware, and a lot of folks may not be aware, being a superintendent is exceptionally complicated, because you have to really be an expert in 3 very diverse areas. Number one, you have to be an expert in education, obviously, and most people think it just stops there, but it doesn't. You have to be an expert in how to run a multi-million-dollar organization. Our budget has fluctuated somewhere around $150 million, give or take, every year for the last many years. That's an enormous financial responsibility. We are blessed to have a strong cabinet that you have chosen and developed. And we are blessed because it's not done by one person, it's done by a team, but it's led by one person. So to be an expert in education, and an expert in in finance, and in the state of Michigan, because of how we get our funding, you have to be an expert in how to navigate the legislative process, because we can't just sit and wait and just find out how much money we're going to get from the state every year, or we would be in big trouble, we as a state of Michigan education system. You have to know how to navigate that system well, and how to guide the rest of all of us to assist in that navigation when it needs to happen. So it's really difficult to find someone who has expertise in all three areas and then who wants to do the job. Because it can be a thankless job, and it can be a lot of hours and days and weeks. One of our biggest challenges, and the rest of the folks listening will not know this, is to try to get you, and that's common with superintendents, to get you to try to take your vacation time, because if not, you're going to burn out. But you are an expert in these three areas, and you have a strong team that you have developed behind you, that works as a team to put this whole thing together. The people who know you in this district know how much you care, and it's been spoken of tonight by my colleagues. It happened again just 2 weeks ago. I was chatting with someone in the district, and they said, "Do you know what? Mrs. Oquist knows me. Like, she knows my name." We have 2,000 employees. I don't know how you do it, but you do seem to know everybody. But they know not only that you know their name, but people in this district know that you care, which is enormously important. We know, too, that when it needs to happen, you can get darn right serious with people. It's great to be passionate about your work. It's great to care about your work, and those things are vital, but you also have got to be able to be the leader who gets things done. And I won't call it my angry eyes, but that's the joke in my family. Oh, Mom put her angry eyes on. But you know when it's time to stop and get down to business and really hold people accountable, wherever they may be in our state that are affecting our children's education. You are superb at these things. You are, as it's been said, a leader among leaders. My most memorable example is when we were coming out of COVID and going into September of 2020. How do we get our kids back in school? How do we respect families who aren't comfortable with their kids back in school and want to be virtual? You developed a plan with a team of 250 or so of us, starting in June, so that we could be ready to go back in September. The following March, you had superintendents calling you saying, "Hey, how did you do that?" Well, you start leading months and months prior. But so many people, as it was mentioned tonight, so many superintendents have reached out to you for guidance on how to just develop as a superintendent, or on enormous issues such as that one. But you are truly a leader among leaders, and we are honored to have you as our leader in our district. I'm personally blessed to also, over these years, be able to call you a friend. But we are grateful for your service. I totally agree with my colleagues that it is really a disservice to all educators that effective is the highest rating anybody could be given, because so many educators in our district are so far beyond effective, and you certainly are among them. Highly effective, I agree, is not high enough, but we are blessed and we are fortunate to have you.
Thank you so much.
And just for the benefit of the public, this evaluation, we use a tool from MASB. It's a rubric, and it goes through different steps. And she did receive the highest rating as we went through that rubric. And is there work to be done in the district? Absolutely. And I think that we all know, we have different areas that we're going to be working on and moving ahead on, and that's always addressed. But as far as our leader in the district and somebody who, when we evaluate them, she's doing exactly what she should be doing and then some. So we work every day tirelessly on behalf of the students we serve, to serve all our students. And some days it's better than others. I mean, it's not always perfect, but we work very hard at that, and we're blessed with a great leader and great cabinet members. And I would be remiss if I didn't say we have awesome teachers and staff in this district. So we really do work hard for you, for our community, and for our families. So at that, yes.
I just have one more thing to say.
Mr. Johnson, we're doing a second round?
No, I think we should really thank the board for hiring her.
Yes, we should.
Oh, good idea. Good idea. All right. I guess we're not going for a second round. We could, but we will go ahead and I think we hit the nail on the head here. We got it here. All right, we have a motion by Mr. McFarland, supported by Mrs. Frank for our superintendent evaluation. And Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes. President Bradford.
Yes, and that motion carries.
May I say something briefly?
Oh, all right. Our superintendent would like to say something. We're going to let her go right ahead. Mrs. Oquist, yes.
So, one, I'm, beyond humbled by your comments tonight, and they truly touch my heart, both personally and professionally. I'm so proud to lead alongside you, and I'm so grateful for your endless support and leadership and guidance for our district and for me personally. It has made all the difference. It has made all the difference. I've said once or twice before that I am really, really blessed to have three amazing teams that surround me, because none of this kind of work gets done by an individual ever. And you are that first team. When we presented together in the fall, I was so proud to stand alongside each of you and present a presentation called Building a Highly Effective, a True Team of 8. And as a superintendent, I don't know if there's any greater honor or privilege is to work alongside your board in the way that we do, and to be able to present at a state conference about that topic in particular, because I think we all believe in it wholeheartedly. And talk about not being common, that's not common. So I'm so grateful for why you do this work, and why each of you are here each Monday evening, and on the phone many times in between, and emailing, because you care so deeply. So thank you. The second team I want to acknowledge is my group here to the right, starting with Mrs. Junta and our amazing cabinet team. This is a team of people who I enjoy tremendously, first of all, but they have big hearts, and they have just smart minds, and they have a dedication and a commitment that's unmatched. And we are so lucky in this district to have each and every one of them. They are so good at what they do. They care a lot about each other, and they care a lot about the people in this district. And most of all, they care about our kids. And the conversations we have, the way we challenge each other's thinking, to have thought partners like them every single day makes me feel like not just the luckiest superintendent, but one of the luckiest people, to be able to have them as thought partners, as friends, as just the most amazing colleagues. And I want to thank them for that. And then my favorite team, no offense to all of you, is my team at home. And I'm grateful for them. So thank you.
And I hope Eunice is watching.
She is part of my tribe. There's
Yes,
no
she
doubt
is.
about it. My biggest fan. So I love them all. Thank you, everybody.
You're very welcome. All right, now I need a tissue. Okay, I'm going to move on to item 9, hearing from board members. Oh, we already voted.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
That all went so quickly.
All of a sudden I thought, did we vote? Okay, we did vote. Yes, folks, we voted. All right, we voted yes, and she's staying on for another year. Thank goodness. After all that. Okay, item 9, hearing from board members. Oh joy, here we go. Yep. Item 9A, second reading of board policy JD, Student Code of Conduct. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Burton.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JD, Student Code of Conduct.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Burton, supported by, I heard Mr. McFarland down there, supported by Mr. McFarland, for the second reading of Board Policy JD, Student Code of Conduct. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mrs. Keats.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Tonight we have the second reading of Board Policy JD. That policy deals with the Student Code of Conduct. However, the part that we focused on was the personal electronic devices. No changes have been made to this policy since we brought it forth for the first reading. This is the second reading again.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments? Again, if you listen into the Committee of the Whole, you'll find a richer discussion on the Student Code of Conduct and this board policy. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we have a motion by Mrs. Burton, supported by Mr. McFarland, for the second reading of Board Policy JD, Student Code of Conduct. Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes, President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 9B, second reading of Board Policy JAB, non-discrimination on the basis of a disability, section 504. May I have a motion, please?
President Bradford.
Mrs. Jarvis.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JAB, non-discrimination of the basis of disability, Section 504.
Support.
We have a motion by Mrs. Jarvis, is supported by Mrs. Frank, for the second reading Board Policy JAB, non-discrimination on the basis of disability, Section 504. And this evening, we're going to hear from Mrs. Sproul. Hello, Mrs. Sproul.
Good evening. So as we've discussed over the past several meetings, this is really updating our language to go from the word handicap being replaced by the word disability, in keeping with the current language in regulations. So we have no changes since the last time we read this.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments? Mrs. Jarvis.
I just wanted to point out that there's a discrepancy between what I read in the outline. The one description says non-discrimination of the basis. The outline says non-discrimination on the basis, which is correct. I'd like to reread the motion.
That sounds good. Please reread the motion.
Move that the Board of Education of the Livonia Public Schools School District accept the recommendation of the Board Policy Committee and adopt board policy language per the attached document for Board Policy JAB, non-discrimination on the basis of disability, Section 504.
Support. Support.
All right, so, motion by Mrs. Jarvis, supported by Mrs. Frank. And we're gonna go with the second reading Board Policy JAB, non-discrimination on the basis of disability, Section 504. Okay. Oh, Mrs. Acosta, would you take the roll, please?
Yes. Mrs. Jarvis,
Yes.
Mrs. Frank,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mrs. Burton,
Yes.
Mr. McFarland,
Yes.
Mrs. Acosta says yes, President Bradford.
Yes, and the motion carries. Moving on to item 9C, first reading Board Policy JBE, truancy. This is not a motion this evening. It won't be voted on until the next meeting. But this evening, we're going to hear from Mrs. Keats.
Yes, thank you again. In our last meetings at our study session and the Committee of the Whole, Mr. Etu and I presented the updated policy JBE, student truancy. The policy does reflect what is in the law. Would you like me to read it since it is the first reading?
Sure.
Okay. It is a short one, so I
Yes.
happily volunteer.
Yes, thank you.
The Livonia Public Schools School District shall report to the appropriate authorities any child who is absent from school in violation of the compulsory attendance law.
And then down at the bottom, there's a legal reference?
Yes, the
Okay.
legal references are updated to reflect the most current laws.
Thank you. Any questions or comments about this policy? Okay, since there are none, this will be put on for a second reading in our January board meeting.
Thank you very
regular
much.
board meeting. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to item 9D, the first reading of Board Policy DK, Student Activities Fund Management. And this evening, I believe we're gonna hear from Mrs. Smith on this.
Hello.
Hello.
Here we go. We don't have any changes from the committee of the whole meeting. We did make a change, I believe, at the study session that's been incorporated. This is one of those short ones. I'm happy to read it. We're not looking to make any changes to the intent of the board policy, but just a few updates.
Yes, if you could
So,
please read it into the
absolutely.
record, that would be wonderful.
The Board of Education authorizes the establishment and maintenance of student activity accounts at each of the schools of the district. An administrator of the school shall be responsible for the proper administration of the financial activities of each student activity account in accordance with the provisions of state law and appropriate accounting practices and procedures. All cash and checks collected must be deposited in full, and under no circumstances may collected cash be retained or used directly for purchases or refunds. Deposit shall be prepared and submitted weekly or as directed by the finance office. All payments made from the student activity account shall have the approval of the administrator responsible for the student activity account. The annual school district audit shall include an audit of student activity funds. Payment for the audit shall be made from district funds. Reserve shall be limited to amounts estimated as necessary for the beginning of the following year's operation, unless being used by agreement for multi-year fundraising efforts. Monies raised by student organizations must be expended for the benefit of the students. The superintendent shall establish appropriate rules and regulations for the implementation of this policy.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Mrs. Burton?
It's just a grammatical type thing. In the first paragraph, Mrs. Smith, where the line in red begins all cash and checks, etc. I believe that should probably be pushed down to its own paragraph.
We can do that, absolutely.
Perfect. Mrs. Frank?
I just appreciated our discussion at the study session about this because we're talking about the policy, but I loved our robust discussion about what we can do and how we're doing it, and actually the thought and the effort that is going into managing this. And so I appreciate that as well. So thanks.
Any other questions or comments regarding this first reading? Okay, then this will be put on for the second reading again at the regular meeting of January.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to item 9E, hearing from board members. At this time, if there's any board members that would like to make a comment about whatever they would like, you're welcome to. Mr. McFarland.
I just wanted to say again how nice that was to start the meeting that way with the student musicians, and just I'm so happy and proud to be part of a district and a board that does care about arts and music, and having that still be part of kids and people's lives. As joyous and exciting as the holiday is for a lot of people, it's very hard for others. And if this lands with anybody, I can tell you I'm a terrible singer, but I've never in my life been in a bad mood while I'm doing it. So, lean into it, get into the holiday music, learn a new thing. But yeah, that was a great way to start the meeting tonight, so thank you for that.
Thank you, that is true, very nice. I do want to say one thing. I want to commend Dave down at the end of the board here. We found out this week that Dave has completed his level 1 certification in addition to several more hours, correct? And that's to be commended, because that allows our board to continue to be an honor board And we enjoy this being an honor board because it shows the commitment we have to the kids that we serve. And by you taking the classes, I'm sure you might have taken them as quick as this one sitting next to me, but I'm not sure. This one did it very quickly, and we were proud of that. Thank you, Madeline, for that. But we're so proud to have you on our board, Dave, and you have just, I don't know, just added a level of just feeling good. We have another man on our board, which I'm happy. Another male. I guess I'll say that, but we are. I'm happy to have you, but we are happy because you do have a wealth of knowledge, and you having little ones, bringing them up in the district, I think is important too, because you got a pulse on what's going on in the classroom. Not that we don't. I mean, we go and visit, we do, but we've all had children come through, so we're a little bit on the older end, or the elder end, I should say.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I guess I'm just in as far as our board service work and our children, okay? Not our age, okay. But anyways, just so proud of you, Dave. Thanks for doing that because you make us all better. And
Congratulations,
yeah,
Dave.
we're happy. Yes.
The monkeys off his back.
The monkey off his back.
I was not about to get Colleen's mom eyes.
I have a hard time leaving those home sometimes.
That's why we love Colleen. She just keeps us in order. I love it. She's like our mother hen. I love it. Anybody else have anything? Mrs. Jarvis.
Thank you. It's kind of hard to top that. I had the happy privilege on Friday of attending the craft show at Garfield. And what a wonderful job. I just want to commend all the young people who took part in that program, as well as their teachers and families. Every year it's better than the year before. The artwork, the crafts,
the
projects that were done, the raffle baskets, everything just showed so much dedication and so much pride. It was actually breathtaking. It left me speechless, and that's hard to do. Excellent work. I wished that I had brought hundreds and hundreds of dollars so I could have just bought everything. But it was beautiful, and I know that some of my recipients of the gifts that I purchased are going to be just tickled and delighted. So thank you, Garfield. Excellent job, great work, and I'm so impressed. Please keep up the good work.
Great, that was
It was
yes,
so good.
It was wonderful. If anybody gets a chance to go to that on an annual basis, it's one of my favorite things to go to attend. And the pride on the students for all the work that they have done. And I mean, they've added food. I mean, you can get soup and different things there. So it's really grown and it's great. So we appreciated that. Anybody else? Well, with that, it's just a little shy of 8:30. I just want to say to our students and our families and our faculty and everybody here, we wish you the happiest of holidays this season, and just count your blessings. We have so many blessings to share, and continue and to enjoy your break and get well rested up, because come January we have a whole nother half a year to go, and we're going to recharge ourselves. So we hope that you have a beautiful holiday season, and we'll see you in January. We are adjourned.